Yeah, we'll
Sunday.
talk about it later. Well, let's start with the comeback of the century, the largest comeback in the history of the NFL. Vikings 39, Colts 36, in a game where the Vikings trailed 33-0 at halftime. And watching that game from a Colts fan's eye view, I am not a Colts fan. I'm not saying I was, but if I was a Colts fan, I had to feel like I was just left on the side of a road, just bleeding out, bleeding a slow death, because as that game was going, it had everything. It was some fireworks at the start, and then nothing. I got a great nap in the third quarter, and then
naturally.
and then in the fourth quarter, it got to 36-14 with about 12:53 left, and I'm sitting there thinking, or no, 36-21 with about 12 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, this is not over. Matt Ryan's blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Who knows what he's going to do on a week 15 game in December on a Saturday. And just big play after big play. The Vikings somehow found a way. I think KOC needs to go to a casino and play craps or something, because actually he probably shouldn't, because I think he's using his luck up on all this whole season. To the Vikings' credit, they found a way though. And the defense, we've been very, very critical of them, but you got to give them their credit because they've kept them in the game. They had big stops when they needed it. That 4th and inches QB sneak, they were able to get a stop. They forced the Colts to settle for field goals on defense or on offense. Colts only had one actual touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings just never gave up. They just been the theme to the whole season. They found a way. Did not listen to the podcast again. We said this is a game they have to jump on them and put them away early, but Colts did the jumping on, and they did not put the Vikings away early.
I mean, honestly, I thought they did put them. I guess yes and no. I mean, Vikings shot themselves in the foot so many times, but I said if they could get it to a 3-score game before the fourth quarter, they had a shot, because one, Matt Ryan's not going to carry you, and two, Jonathan Taylor's out. You don't have a run game. Mm-hmm. So like it was basically Matt Ryan or nothing, and well, we all know how that's going to go. It's not going to go well for Matt Ryan. But a positive outlook for the Colts. Now they are in a better position to get their quarterback. They still have a top 5 pick, so not all is awful for the Colts. Your team just really sucks right now.
And you know what's funny? Let's put it in perspective. Mr. Dylan, you're going to like this. C.J. Stroud might finally have an opportunity to play a home game in Indianapolis.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Look at that,
that
CJ. You just hope Jim Harbaugh's not on the other sideline, because we know how this is going to go. Pear-shaped.
But maybe Kirk will get his actual recognition now for that win. Like, he absolutely willed them, and despite 2 egregious errors by Jalen Reagor trying to throw the game.
He had money on the Colts.
Oh, he had to.
He pulled a Pete Rose, and he was betting on games he would win.
I don't even think the one he stopped on was the worst interception down the field. The first one, he's like standing there in the zone, and like literally as Kirk throws it, he jumps to the right. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
he just wanted to make sure that he put his mark on the greatest comeback in NFL history.
He really wanted that money.
That is true.
Well, and there's something about, and I was listening to Kolpak today. He was on Dom Izzo's show, our former guest, and he was saying that, like, watching Kevin O'Connell on the sideline is, even though they were down 33-0, he never stopped coaching. He always kept talking to the guys, kept believing them, like they were never out of it, and it clearly showed they weren't. And there's something about this team where it almost felt like it was the 2016 game against the Colts, if you guys remember that one, where Adrian Peterson was coming back. They were coming back. They were like making a playoff push, and they came out and laid an egg. That's how that first half felt.
Yeah.
And, in Kirk's early tenure with the Vikings, those 2 interceptions, he would have came back. He would have been screaming at Reagor. But this time there was a little bit more calmness you kind of saw to him, where he went up to him and was coaching him and telling him, what he should have done. He wasn't sitting there. They weren't there wasn't any finger pointing, there were no screaming at each other, and that's, I think, part of the culture that KOC has built, where we're not gonna we're in this together. We're gonna find a way. Win as we're gonna win as one together or lose individually, and the Vikings find ways to win together.
Oh, for sure. And when you're watching that game and how all the bad things are happening, block punt for a touchdown, go for it on fourth down, a fake punt on fourth down where your punter just throws it high. You're telling yourself this, guys. They're in this game. The Colts are not a good football team.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
They
well,
just
and the
got-
Colts just it was nothing the Colts did is to
the
how they got
Vikings-
up 33-0. It was all the Vikings just here, take the ball. We don't want it.
Yeah.
Even like on the first drive, the kickoff, you start your first possession of the game at midfield.
Yeah.
Even just to start off the game like that, and then because they pretty much they tried to hand the Colts the game. Like they said, nah, we don't want this. We're fine. We'll let the Niners sneak up us on it and try to catch us here in the NFC.
Yeah.
But your point, Dylan, exactly. They just kept going. They kept fighting. The story of this team, they're not going to quit. They believe in their head coach. Their head coach believes in them. And if you don't put them away, they're going to come back and they're going to get you. And it's just incredible. I still kind of feel like this didn't happen, and I'm waiting for someone to wake me up, and we're going to go back and do the last 3 days all over again.
So was Jeff Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. But like people keep saying it's luck all the time, and like at some point luck doesn't have anything to do with it. I think Saturday was a great thing. Like we had 2 touchdowns taken away that were very obvious.
That is true.
And you still come back and put 40 up in the second half. Like the Vikings are just really freaking good when they want to be. It's just a matter of when they want it and when they don't, it seems like.
And playing up and down to the level of your competition.
Yeah.
Mainly down this year. It feels like.
Yeah.